I'm my brother's keeper. I'm my sister's guide. Standing here together with nothing left to hide. We lift each other up when the world feels torn apart. We're keepers of the flame. We're the healers of the heart.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
Welcome to My Other's Keeper. I have the lovely and talented Echo, who is living her best life at 60, but she is also the kaleidoscope of happiness. There you go. So how you doing, Echo?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Awesome. I am doing well. I just got home from a vacation in Quebec. Man, was that nice. Hey, Kathy. Hi, Brian. Nice to see you. Glad you're here. Rudy is a mod on your channel there, Echo. You're the one who has to remove him.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah. All right. Rudy, I don't normally have come in on my channel. I find him distracting, and I feel so guilty saying that, but I do find him distracting.
It's
So,
okay.
anyway, Indigo, nice to see you, Haley.
Hi, Indigo.
Hi. Okay, who else is here? I have been doing things. I need to find some images. It wasn't letting me add images. Nico, hey, nice to see you. Awesome.
Brian, hello, hello.
Yeah.
And New Horizons Above and Beyond is over on my channel. Welcome.
Oh, hi there, New Horizons. Nice to meet you. Okay. Who else is here? I have been absolutely, my brain has just been flying all over the place. Last night, I couldn't turn it off. It actually becomes very frustrating for me. Create and Relate. I love that name.
Yes, and
What a
BJ's
great name.
Misadventure. Welcome,
BJ's
y'all.
Misadventures. Awesome. Cool. So what are the misadventures that you get up to? That might be fun.
He actually lives in Canada.
Does he? Oh, cool. Diamond Paint Carrie Lynn. Ooh, hello,
Yes,
Diamond Paint Carrie Lynn.
Hello, welcome, welcome. Welcome,
Yes.
everybody.
Yeah. Are you in Echo's channel or are you on my channel, DJ? Or Nico?
Nico is on your side.
Yeah, I think you're on my side tonight.
Yep, Nico's on your side, but
Sorry.
BJ is on my side.
Sorry,
got a
Indigo.
DJ and a BJ.
Yes, DJ BJ. All right. Yes. And Indigo's birthday was Wednesday, yesterday. Happy birthday. Yay. While we were in Quebec, it was my husband's birthday. So we went out for dinner and I wanted to be able to show pictures tonight, but it's not allowing me to. Oh, I just had a thought. Let's do this. Okay, I am going to go here. I am going to share my screen. There we go. Okay. I'm going to do a share screen. Please forgive me, everybody. My brain is not necessarily working great. So I'm a little bit all over the place. You had surgery on your right hand. Oh, had a tumor removed. Oh my goodness. I hope you're okay. Oh
my
my
goodness,
goodness.
Carrie. I guess
Oh,
that's maybe
wow.
why you can't be diamond painting right now. Oh my
That would
goodness.
do it.
Yes.
Daniel,
I hope it heals up for you quick.
for sure. Okay, so this is a picture of my husband and I. We are at the kind of the top adjacent to a waterfall.
Oh,
And this is the waterfall we were at. Now,
beautiful.
when we were out in this area, it was not very windy. When we were over here, it was a wind tunnel. It was just incredible how just walking out over that little area, completely just amazing. So yeah, welcome to my husband. Some of you know him from our relationship, the love languages episode. So yeah, he was on there. He didn't talk a lot. That's okay. So yeah, there we go. Take a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. Part of the reason I am frustrated or what's the word I'm looking for? Discombobulated is because I've been trying. There is a waterfall I want to see in real life. Angel Falls in Venezuela. Absolutely. Oh yeah, I would love to see Angel Falls. Oh, I've seen photos. It's phenomenal. I love waterfalls, but Angel Falls is phenomenal. Just gorgeous. No, I'm doing an art show or an art sale this weekend. And so I am trying to come up with designs for stickers to put on the bags that I'm selling. Oh, you meditate a lot. Nice. Okay. So this is the latest one. I'm just going to hold this up to here. And you can see that it is deeply imperfect and hard to read. So the marbling, you do just think, well, we like it. The marbling stuff in the back is one of my paintings. And the lettering on the front is almost invisible. So that's okay. Ooh, DJ Nico wrote a song. Nice. Yeah, doing something creative just feels good, doesn't it? When you are a creative individual.
Even if you don't think you're a creative individual,
I know.
Trying to be creative really does bring you into that kind of just a peaceful, different kind of mindset.
Mm-hmm. Peyton Samuels, nice to meet you. I'm glad you're here. And BJ wants to know, Echo, why is your name?
Why is it that? I guess because I didn't change it when I came in, probably. Let's see if it'll let me.
Okay, so let me change it for you.
Edit name. Okay. I think what it was is it was on there from the last time I was here.
Yep.
And I probably just didn't change it. BJ.
There we go. Did I spell kaleidoscope correctly?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no. It's DOS.
There, see now, I'm an English teacher who cannot spell. How pathetic is that?
That's okay. I did a short today and I misspelled Georgia on it. And BJ's like, was that intentional? I'm like, no, just a mistake.
Yeah. There we go. I made Kaleidoscope of Happiness your headline instead of just your name. So
good. That's
all right. Good. And I got Kaleidoscope correctly this time. So
hello,
this is
Journey
good.
Mirror. Welcome.
Journey Mirror. Oh, cool.
Yes. Welcome.
Journey, where do you go? Never make an English teacher mad. No. No, you
Journey
blocked Rudy.
Journey Mirror that's the name of her channel, and it's about when you are on a life's journey, you need to hold up the mirror and look at yourself. And she's very, God centered, but
Nice.
good about
Just
relationships
kind of a
and just life journey
nice.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Big
Rudy, I'm just going to address you for a moment, my friend. I will not ask Echo to ban you as long as you do not try to join us on screen and you don't ask about numbers, etc. I find it very distracting, and that's why I personally don't have you on my channel. So it's just because I find it distracting, and my ADHD brain can't handle all of that all at the same time. So please respect that. I appreciate that. My name is Blue Ortia. Nice to meet you. Okay. My daughter's roommate likes the name Blue. She is a Blue fanatic. Not to be mistaken for Blue's Clues, Blue. So she just loves the color blue.
Oh, I see what Rudy did. He has multiple channels. He came in.
Yes, he sure does.
A different
Yep.
channel. So I'll have to try to keep up with that. Peyton, her channel is My Other's Keeper, and I'm going to drop that link in my channel so that y'all can.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate that, Echo.
I usually do that when I'm going to be with a guest or have a guest, and I forgot tonight, so I will get it.
Yes. And BJ, your channel's been going nuts. 7,000 views in 48 hours. Holy moly.
We've been doing some new shorts and stuff that are really getting some traction, which is great.
No doubt.
Okay, there's her link, and let me pin it at the top, and then that way they'll be able to easily find it. There we go.
Lovely. Thank you.
Okay. Good.
I appreciate that. So we are going to talk. I can't. My voice is a little weird. We've got smoke coming in from forest fires north of here. We've got. Hey, Peyton, nice to have you on my channel. We've got forest fires really badly burning north of where I live, and we have had a lot of people who have evacuated from communities. A friend of mine was 3 a.m. She had 7 people show up at her door who had evacuated from 4.5 hours north.
Oh,
so,
wow.
And when they were driving out of their community, there was fire here, and fire behind them. It was scary. So yeah, we have smoke coming in and out and all that kind of stuff. You're going to Nashville.
That sounds nice, Carrie.
Cool. Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Yes.
147 subs. Yes. All right.
That's one thing about shorts. They definitely get you subscribers. They may not get you much watch time, but they definitely get you subscribers.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't do enough shorts. I really don't. That's something I need to do more frequently.
I try to do 1 or 2 a day, but some days, some days I do more than 1, and then other days I don't do any. It really depends on the mood I'm in and whether or not I, get any of them done.
Joel, I'm going to make you famous. Just remember, keep smiling. It makes others wonder what you're up to.
Yes.
That's makes other people wonder what you're hiding. All sorts of things with smiling. It's great. So you've got some meetups, do you?
That one they're on right now, that is in Missouri. And that's Gail Southern Living and Simply Jan Homestead and Linda from Another Time. I need to go in my Nightbot and do some updating and pull that out. But they're actually there this weekend at the Ozark meetup. So I've had that on my Nightbot for them since like the beginning of January because they've been
Right.
trying to let people know about it.
Okay. And BJ, what does a faceless channel mean? Does that mean that you're not on it and you're simply videoing what's going on around you? Is that what that is?
Yeah. And a lot of the crafting channels are faceless where you see their hands, but you don't see
Yeah.
their faces. Yeah.
On my other channel, I have another channel called Pookie Woo's Designs. And yeah, you don't see my face on there a whole lot. I am on there, but I started that channel a number of years ago. And I was really uncomfortable with the idea of having this go. And yeah, I do clip my lives into shorts. Oh, but then I don't link the longer in the description. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that's
Nice
a good
hat.
thing to do.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Some communities are completely gone off the map. And these are resort communities up at the Northern Lakes because all of the fire has taken out the housing. You remember, I don't know if you guys heard Jasper National Park last summer is a Canadian park, and about a third of it went up in flames.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah.
Peyton,
Yeah,
whose
it's
channel are you wanting? BJ's channel? I'm not sure. If
someone
it's
linked that channel. I want
BJ's,
to
I'll go ahead and drop BJ's channel on my side, and you can see it
sure.
on that side as well. I think you'll be able to see it. So,
Yep.
it'll
Oh,
be-
BJ, are you from Burnaby area?
yes,
Well,
he
that's
is.
cool. And yeah, I have a cousin who lives in Burnaby. That's kind of cool. I like it. Oh, you want my other channel that I was talking about? Okay. Let me
Oh,
go. I will go to my other channel and I will go to my YouTube on that channel and view my channel more. Copy. See, I have to voice my thoughts out loud or I just lose them today. There you go. It's Pookie Woos. YouTube.com at Pookie Woos. Pookie is my older daughter's I love you name, and Woozle is my younger daughter's I love you name. So Pookie Woos. That's how I came up with my name.
Hi, Body Illusion. Welcome.
Yes. Hello, buddy. Nice to see you. I cried about the Jasper National Park. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It is sad. And the one of the fires, there were two fires north of here that combined and became larger in size than the physical size of the city of Saskatoon. And so like just knowing how long, like I don't live super far away from Saskatoon, but it just, the idea that it is larger than that whole city just gives me pain. And Joel proved his wife wrong yesterday. Never do that, Joel. You should know this by now. Don't do it. But you sold one of your old cars. She said I was just nutty to ever get rid of any of them. I may be nuts, but I'm not crazy. You know what? I'm not crazy. My psychiatrist said so. So yeah, that's something that I say at the end of every mental health conversation or presentation that I give. And because of that, I actually asked my psychiatrist, I said, I say this at the end of my presentations. Am I actually crazy? She's like, no, I have a lot of crazy patients. You're not one of them. Okay. So yeah, we're all mad here. That's right. And I'm a mad hatter. So let me just show you off to the side here of this room. Ugh, got a wall of hats going on over there. go. So they say it in it. We all float here. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I bought another hat today, and just what my husband's going to want. But it's a larger hat, more like a sun hat.
Uh-huh.
And I need more of those. I only have like one or two. Some people collect shoes. I seem to collect hats, and I like them. I'm a hat girl. So
Hey, Check MP, welcome.
hey, check. All right. MP. What does that stand for? Check MP. I know what that means in Canada, but I don't know what that means for you, my friend.
Well, I'm not really sure either, but maybe he'll share it with us.
Okay. Inquiring minds want to know.
Want to know, exactly.
Yes. Speaking of inquiring minds, how's your beautiful baby doing?
She is missing me terribly, and I'm missing her terribly, but we are trying to let her be at mama's and daddy's for the summer.
Yep.
And she is just so used to being with me Monday through Friday that every morning she asks her mama, is my granny coming to get me? So I was over there yesterday, and she didn't want to go to bed until I left to go home.
Oh, wow, for sure.
Yeah. But now hopefully we will, transition her away from being with me every day, because she's going to school in the fall. So she's
Right.
got to get where she can handle that. Hello, Anne. I'm giving you blue
Hi,
butterfly
Anne.
wings so that you can
You have a lot
connect
of garden
everybody
hats.
else.
Cool. Okay.
But anyway, yeah, she's wonderful. She just is so ready for school and to have little friends and all of that. But because I've been watching her since day one, she just thinks,
yeah.
She's got another parent there. And
she kind of does.
Yeah.
And the best things happen when little kids have relationships multi-generationally.
Yes.
Honestly, that is just
she's
so important.
She's trying to learn and understand how I'm her mommy's mommy, but I'm her granny. And she'll tell, like, my daughter will want to give me a hug or something, and she'll say, that's my granny, and my daughter will say, yeah, but she's my mama, so she hasn't quite got that yet, that the way she feels about her mama,
Yeah.
So,
yeah. MP in Canada means member of parliament. So in Canada, you would be part of the government or part of the opposition, and you would work in Ottawa, and apparently you would probably be as crooked as a $3 bill. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, he said that it's something from a game called NBA 2K, and it was a joke, and it just stuck with him. So he just uses that as his title. Cool.
Okay.
I like that.
Oh, hey. Nice to see you, Mandy. Glad you're here. Yes. Get Anne over 50. Yes. She needs like 5 or 7 more. Oh, Anne, I don't have you, so I will look for you. Anne Philbeck. Okay.
What did she say? First time watching from Virginia. I think I know you, though, from Gail Southern Living's channel. I think I've seen your name on there, Anne. So welcome.
Okay. Welcome. Glad to see you. So, Echo, tell me about your channel. Tell me about the transformation from Living My Best Life at 60 to Kaleidoscope of Happiness, because they're both such positive ideas. Well, I mean, gracious.
I was kind of in a state of limbo. thinking
Mhm.
about the next chapter in my life,
Mm.
being that I wasn't going to have baby girl come this
Mm.
summer and this fall. And I will finally, in the 3 years that I've been doing my channel, I've also been helping raise my granddaughter.
Oh yeah.
So this would be the first time that I really was going to have my own schedule and really be able to do YouTube the way I wanted to do it. And so I was really,
Oh.
kind of in that state of limbo thinking, well, I kept saying things like, I need to do this and I need to do that, but I don't have time. But when
Mm.
this happens, I'm going to have time to spend doing this and doing that and whatever. So I was really
Mhm.
just kind of, trying to get my thoughts together and figure out what
Mhm.
I wanted to do. And I had started doing the chair workout videos, and I was doing those on
Yes.
Monday, Wednesday, and
And honey,
Friday.
you look fantastic.
And so
Wow.
it was on a Wednesday morning. I got
Yep.
up at 4 o'clock in the morning because I wanted to record my workout video before I went and picked up my granddaughter so I could post it that day. And
Mm.
as I was setting up my camera and getting things ready, I walked into my kitchen and I fell and I hit hard on the floor.
Oh
And
no.
I landed on my hip, my knee, and my elbow on the right side. And I don't know why I fell. I don't have carpeting or a rug or anything like that. I had my shoes on. There wasn't any spill on the floor or anything like that. It was just one of those things. I came around the corner and boom, I went down.
Boom.
Now,
Yeah.
as I laid there on the floor, I was kind of in a panic
Mhm.
because I was supposed to be picking up my granddaughter. My daughter had to go to work that morning. And here I am laying on the floor trying to decide, how am I going to get up? And is anything broken? Can I go get in the car and go get my granddaughter? And
Mhm.
all of a sudden, while I was panicking and trying to, figure out logistically how I was going to get up off the floor, it was like this calm came over me. And it was
Mhm.
like God said to me, just stop. And I was like, I got all this going on. I can't, what do you mean just stop? And so I just laid there for a few minutes and it was like all of a sudden, it was like my mind got clear and I
Yeah.
was like, there's changes. There's things I'm going to do. There are things that have to change. And so I thought about it and I realized because I was in my kitchen that I could use the kitchen counter because it has an overhang on it. That if I could
Yes.
get over to the counter, maybe I could use that and get the leg that wasn't hurting up under me enough to be able to stand up, which is what I ended up doing.
Mhm.
And I knew as soon as I stood up and put weight on my leg, nothing was broken. I had just hit
Yeah.
really hard. And since I've lost weight, I have no padding on my hips and my behind. And so I hit
Yes.
like, bone on the hard floor.
Yes.
And so I said, okay, I cannot do that workout video now. My best bet is to go get in the car and just get to my daughter's house. So
Yeah.
I get there and I realize now that I rode in the car for half an hour that now I've gotten stiff. And now I don't think
Mhm.
I'm going to be able to get out and walk to go in the apartment to get my granddaughter. So I call my
Right.
daughter and I tell her, I fell, but I'm here in the parking lot, but I don't want to have to get out of the car. So just bring her to me. Of course, my daughter freaks out, wants me to go to the emergency room and all this. And I'm like, no, nothing's broken. I'll be okay. Just bring me the baby and I'm going on home.
Right.
And I said, but you can come pick her up because I was supposed to bring her back that day. And I said, you can
Mhm.
come pick her up because I'm not going to drive if I don't have to. And I made it home. I got in the recliner. I got my granddaughter her breakfast and everything she needed. Got in the recliner and I spent the whole day in the recliner. My granddaughter was such a good little helper.
Oh, that's so good.
She can get most everything that she needs, on her own now. So that was good. And she kept saying, Granny, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. And of course I had skinned up my elbow and skinned up my knee.
And
And,
she knows how owie that is,
yes.
right?
And she kept saying, your knee hurts. And I was like, my knee is the least of my problems. It's my hip that's really bothering me. And
Yeah. She doesn't even know what a hip is.
Yeah. But because of the way that I fell, the swelling and the bruising inside of my hip was putting pressure on that sciatic nerve, which
Oh,
goes
yes.
all the way down your leg.
Sure
And it
does.
made it so my foot was like floppy. I couldn't even really, control my
Oh,
foot. And my
no.
entire leg was like just hurting. So and I've had a pinched nerve before and I've had back surgery before. And I thought, oh no, I've done, I've hurt myself. So
Not again. Yeah.
when my daughter
Yeah.
came to get my granddaughter, she was like, we're going to the emergency room, at least get an x-ray, make sure you didn't fracture your hip or whatever.
Mhm.
So we did that. And the next day, Thursday morning, I called my doctor's office and I said, look, I don't know if I've messed up that nerve or, what I've done, but I'm in a lot of pain. What should I do? And they were like, take ibuprofen, ice,
Mhm.
heat, stay off of it, just chill out. And then if you don't start to feel better, then we'll have to
Mhm.
do an MRI and a nerve test and all that, which I've had all that before. And I was like, you know what? If I go that right, hello, Cindy, Lifestyles and More. Welcome. I'm not watching the chat. I apologize if I missed anybody else. Anyway, so I told my doctor, I said, I don't want to go for all of that because I think it puts you in the mindset of something's really wrong when you start having medical testing done and everything. And then you're worrying about
Yeah.
the results
Yeah.
and all of that. And I said, I just want a few days. Just let me sit with it for a few days. And if I don't start feeling better, then, yes, I will get the test done or whatever.
Right.
Anyhow, so long story short, while I had nothing going on, I decided I'd cancel my lives. I didn't put out any videos. I even had videos
Okay.
recorded and ready to go, but I could not sit at this desk and do any work because it hurt to sit up. I could
For
lay
sure.
back in
Yeah.
my recliner. I could lay in the bed, but sitting up and walking around was, painful. So I kind of put out a note, on my community post saying, I'm sorry, I don't like to cancel stuff, but I'm canceling because I'm hurt, and I'll see y'all in a little bit. And then it was like God said, okay, now what do you want to do with your time? What is it you really want out of YouTube, out of this next chapter? And I really started thinking about things, and I realized that I put a lot of pressure on myself that I didn't need to have.
Exactly. We all do that.
I was like trying to do so many different things that I
Yeah.
really wasn't doing any of them well because I was so thinly, divided.
Yes.
And
Yes.
YouTube had become more of not like a job, but more of a chore because I had to fit it
Yes.
in between what else I was doing. And I said, I don't want to feel like that. And I don't want to do that anymore. And so I started thinking about, what do I really want? What kind of videos do I really want to make? What kind of things do I really want to do? What parts of it do I really like? What parts of it don't I, want to do? And then I had already started using the butterfly as my channel icon.
Yes.
And because I do feel like I've been going through a transformation in my life.
Oh, for
And
sure.
so I had found out a few months ago that a group of butterflies was called a kaleidoscope. And so I had already started using the butterfly for my membership levels and stuff. And
Yes.
that was one of the things I really wanted to, spend some time working on that I hadn't had time to do. And so I started thinking along the lines of that. And the more I thought about it, I kept coming back to, I want that community. I want that kaleidoscope. I want a group of people that are trying to do this life thing, And then I said, the one thing I always say on my channel is, happiness is a choice. We can be happy. It doesn't matter your circumstances or finances or anything. If you choose to look at things in a positive way and look for the joy in things, you can be happy. And so I said, that's it. That's what I want. I want a kaleidoscope of people that are happy. And there I said, okay, kaleidoscope of happiness. And then it
That
was like,
is
as soon as I had the
wonderful.
name, then it was like God just gave me everything else just came, from that. And I
Doesn't he
decided
just
that
do that?
I would do more Bible verses because that's one thing I had started on my Sunday lives. One of
Mm-hmm.
my guests,
Mm-hmm.
Tia, from Boldly Unshackled, had made the comment, what if something happened to our Bible and we had to rewrite
Yes.
the Bible from memory?
Yes.
What would your contribution be? What verses do you have written on your heart that you can remember to do? And I said, I have to admit that I call myself a Christian and I do believe in God and I believe in the Bible as his word, but do I have them memorized where I can tell you what book and what verse and everything? No, I don't. I know just about all of the ones that are common that
Mm-hmm.
people use a lot, but could I tell you exactly? And I said, no, I can't. So on Sunday mornings, I've been reading from one of Max Lucado's books,
Yes.
and it's called Glory Days. And it's talking about how, we are going to inherit, or we have an inheritance with God.
Yeah.
And I said, I need to learn. I need to do this. I need to start memorizing these verses. So I kind of threw a challenge out there one Sunday morning and said, I'm going to learn one Bible verse a week. And then I decided, well, as long as I'm going to be learning them, I'm going to make a short out of it and I'm going to put it on my channel. And then
Brilliant.
I'd always been doing different devotions, but I didn't really tie it into the fact that you need that quiet time with God
Yeah.
so that you can, and it doesn't matter if you're reading from the Bible or if you're reading from a devotion or what you're reading from. Even if you're not reading anything, just take that quiet time and let God
Mm-hmm.
talk to you. I'm big about praying and asking for, prayers for people when they're
Guidance
sick
and
and they're
yeah.
hurt and, things like that. But how often did I actually just sit there and say, okay, God, what is it you want me to do? What is it, you know? And I hadn't really been doing that. And so now it's like, now I still do my devotions, but now it's my quiet time with God. It's like, I'm going to take that time and I'm really going to sit with it and just see, because he had to stop me. He had to make me stop in my tracks for me to hear him clearly, because there was so
Yeah.
much noise in the world around me that even though he was giving me these ideas and I was questioning and I was having these feelings, but it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't okay, there's a solution to the problem. It was like I was still back trying to figure out what the problem was. And here
Mm-hmm.
he was already ready to give me the solution. So
Mm-hmm.
I had to go through that. Then I decided I was going to add another, even though I'm trying to cut back because I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
have such a schedule that I have to do things. And I don't have necessarily a schedule for my posting. There's Retro. Hello, hello.
Hello.
Tomorrow for a very special guest, Retro. That's right. Tomorrow night, 10 o'clock, we are going to have some music and some laughs.
Nice.
It's going to be fun.
Nice.
But I'm still going to basically do my live streams. But I've decided, if I have something else, like I have a birthday party for one of my best friends, her great grandson. Not grandson, great grandson, first great
Wow.
grandchild. It's his first birthday. And so she has invited me, and it's in Tallahassee, Florida, which is about an hour and a half away. And she's invited
Oh,
me to
that's not
go with
bad.
her to the birthday party, and we're going to make a day of it. And I was like, so guess what? That night, I'm not doing a live stream because I'm going to enjoy that time with her. Then
Exactly.
I have a couple little trips coming up over the summer, and I've just put it on the calendar. There'll be no live streams this week,
Yeah.
And I guess I was worried that if I didn't post and if I didn't go live, people would disappear. They would stop watching me. And do you know that just the
Yeah.
opposite happened when I
Really.
stopped and I didn't post anything? And I had the post on the community wall saying, I'm injured and I'll be back when I can. I got so many messages and phone calls and text messages and emails from people that I hadn't even heard from in months,
Wow.
and I was like, this is why I do YouTube. I do YouTube because I have made friendships with people all over the world. And that's what I want. I want those friendships in my life. And if it means that I can't do YouTube all the time and put the pressure on myself to do things just to be doing them, then I'm going to have to just do what I enjoy. Now, all day today, I worked on recording my BookTube videos. I do Thursday BookTube. And I've been reading this whole time that I haven't been able to, really be posting. I've been reading my books. So I had like 4 books to review. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go ahead and sit down today and I'm going to, get those knocked out. But I could have had a live stream today with Elisa doing trivia. We had been doing trivia every Thursday at noon. And then she needed some time off from that. And then I fell. And, so it was like, okay, guess what? We're putting it on the back burner. When we're both ready to come back to it, we will. So she could have came back this week. And I was like, you know what? Let's give it one more week because I've got other things, I need to get done today. And so that was fine with her. So we will be back next Thursday doing our trivia. And then it was like, I said, okay, so I've got the whole day. I don't have any plans to go anywhere. I have no live scheduled. I'm going to get some work done. And then I got your message. And I said, you know what, God? I hear you loud and clear.
That's right. Every now and then, God needs to hit us over the head with a 2x4. He touched me. Oh, he touched me.
And I said, you know what? And I think I said in the message, I was taking today off.
Yeah.
But since God brought this opportunity, I will come and be there. No problem.
And I am so grateful for the prompting, for your obedience. I mean, like when I was thinking, it was T from Australia was going to be my guest tonight. We were going to talk about the dual sympathetic reset that she had done, which is quite delightful. I really want to talk to her about that. But for some reason, as soon as she wasn't able to do it, I'm like, I need to talk to Echo. I need to talk to Echo. You were the first person on my mind. So I'm really grateful that
it was just so funny because I was like, I had no more than got done saying to myself, okay, the deck is clear, you're going to be able to get something done. And then I got your message and I was like, but you know what? I would rather, do that than not do it, So it worked out perfectly. Yeah. But I think my whole mindset is changed to where God wants me to enjoy my life. And that's my whole life, not just my YouTube life.
I'm saying goodnight to BJ.
Oh, okay.
So BJ, good night.
Yes. Good night, BJ. So, I have to be able to say no to things, whether that's in my personal life or that's on YouTube or, whatever it might be. And I've never been really good at that. I've been a people pleaser all my life. And it's hard for me to, especially if I feel like the person really wants me to do something, it's hard for me to say, oh, no, I can't do that. But I now realize that it's about balance. It's not about everything to every person. It's about finding that balance where you do the things in your life when and how you want to do them, not trying to please some people and not trying to please all of the people,
for sure.
But at least to do what you feel that God is leading you to do and what God wants you to do. Now, I had been saying too that I was going to volunteer because I was going to have, more time and I wanted to do some kind of volunteering. And I really think that it's going to be at my granddaughter's school, because the things that they let mommies and daddies, come to school to do, both of her
Mhm.
parents will be working, but
That's
grandma
right.
could
Yeah.
come, you know.
Yep.
So I really, and I did that when when my daughter was in elementary school. Even though I worked a full-time job, I still volunteered, as much as I could. And I even did a reading thing where I had two kids that on 2 days out of the week, I would go in the mornings and we would read together, to help them work on their reading. Let's
Yeah.
see. In my mid-20s, I started asking myself, does this make me happy? If the
Mhm.
answer is no, reevaluate. See, and that's the thing. I wanted to be happy, and I was
Yeah.
trying to figure it out. And I was saying, okay, yes, this makes me happy, but did it really? I didn't. I might have been happy, but was I fulfilled? And one of the script, and my
Yes.
cards are in the other room, but one of the scriptures that I'm working on memorizing talks about having a fulfilling life. God doesn't just want you to live, He wants you
He
to
wants
be
you to have life and have
fulfilled.
life abundantly.
Yes. So that's one thing. I said on my live on Wednesday, I will still be doing my coloring. There's two collaborations that I was doing with coloring that I haven't done because of the injury, but I really found that doing those was so just relaxing, and my mind just was not on any kind of issues or problems when I was coloring. And so I will still be doing those. I have gotten into crocheting and I have gotten into diamond painting, and I will make time to be able to do those things as well, because I really do feel like having those creative outlets is important and is something that
Yes.
I need in my life that I was missing. I'm working on doing a prayer journal. I don't know. I had an idea how I wanted to do it, but now I'm like rethinking how I want to do it exactly. But I am working on that. That is kind of crafty and kind of not. And I'm still going to
Mhm.
do the book things because I love to read, and it doesn't matter if it's fiction, nonfiction, the
Yep.
dictionary. It doesn't matter. I love to read. So
I laugh because I understand. When I was a kid, I used to read the encyclopedia for fun.
yeah.
Like it's what I did.
Well,
Dictionary, same thing.
the thing that I do is I can't just read about one thing. Like I might be reading a fiction book and they talk about a place in the book, and then I want to know, is that a real place or not? And so then I start researching to see if they're really, and then I'll find out, yes, it's a real place, and then I'll find out something about that place or whatever. And then so
Love
it's like
it.
it just keeps going
Just
and going and going. So sometimes I have to tell myself,
sparkle here, sparkle there, sparkle here.
you can't look that up right now. Just read the book.
Yes,
But,
exactly. Oh,
but yeah.
that's fabulous. I love it. And
And
that's a whole thing with kaleidoscopes as well, right?
yeah, yes,
You've got these little sparkles all over the place. It's like, oh, my thing's over there. It's like that whole idea of we're not broken pieces of glass. When we're put together, we're a disco ball.
right.
I am more like a kaleidoscope.
That's exactly when I looked up what is a kaleidoscope, and it said, brightly colored broken pieces of glass that come
Yes.
together and make different, beautiful mosaics.
And
I was
they're
like,
all different
that,
every time.
yes, and that is exactly what I want my community to become. That it doesn't
Yes.
matter age, race, nothing matters. Everyone is welcome. Everyone will be respected, but yet together we'll make something beautiful. So yeah,
Mhm.
and like I said, it was. I'm not smart enough to think all this stuff. This is strictly what God said here. This is what you need to
Exactly.
do. Because
Yes.
I had for 3 years I've been trying to get it together, and I had a new person to my channel I said something about they said, well, what is your channel about? And I said, well, this, and that, and they said, oh, you're kind of all over the place. And I was like, exactly. It's like I
Yeah.
don't really
Yeah.
have a one thing,
Oh,
So,
I
yeah.
love that. Because
But-
I've just gone kind of all over the place. I've done some song reviews. I've done some worship signing. I've done some, well, every day I do scripture. And I was challenged today by my mother. When I started out doing the devotionals, I was looking, I had a passage and then I would look up about it. And I got away from doing that. And I started going from my own brain. And we know how well that goes. So I'm going to be getting back into okay, let's look up for other wisdom. And once a month, my mom and I have decided that once a month, I'm going to have Monday with Mom. And it will be a Monday devotional with my mom. So I think that's going to be nice.
Yeah. And I've met a couple new channels that are really speaking to me. And I know it's God, using them and speaking through them.
Yes.
So I am really I'm trying to see here. Nightbot didn't like somebody must have put some emojis because my Nightbot does not like it. Oh, Elisa's here. Hello, Elisa. And Coloring with
Somebody
Taylor
did put in
is here.
the Drifter put in some emojis.
Yes. Drifter, I'm so sorry. It just doesn't like emojis. I think we did that to him the other day too, and I think he didn't come back for me to explain.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I apologize, everybody, for not looking at the chat. But these channels that it's like God is saying, this is where you need to go. This is, you need to check this out and you need to look at this and you need to, and I've always been about connection. I've always been about helping channels grow and things like that.
Yeah.
But, it comes a point to where, am I getting anything? Am I being fed from it?
Yeah.
And now it's like God is showing me where I need to go, where I need to spend my time. And things like that. And it you mentioned obedience, it's really is kind of hard for me to let go of control and to not use my own deciding about things and to just actually listen to God. Hello, Arlie. And it's something that I'm definitely working on, and I'm trying to get to where I don't put that resistance immediately, that I just say,
yes,
oh, sure, sounds like a great idea. I'll do that, instead of me saying, huh? What? Wait a minute. Wait. Ooh.
For years, I've simply called that in myself a rebellious spirit.
Well,
and that's something that I have found in myself. And there's a name for it. I just found out a few months ago is, what is it called? You talk. I'm going to think for a minute.
Well, I call it, being in my flesh.
Well, like I said, a rebellious spirit.
Sometimes
but it is,
my flesh doesn't want to do what's best for me,
Yes.
And of course we know that God knows best.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He knows. He already has it already figured out exactly what we need to be doing and where we need to be going and all of that. And it's even though I can believe that and I understand that, somehow in my life, I've always went to God after the problem has happened.
Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Is that what you're saying?
Well, but kind of like, I'm just bebopping along. I'm doing my thing, and then it all falls apart. And then I go to God and say,
what happened?
What happened? I thought, I thought this was this and this was that. And then I realized, okay, well, did you make a wrong turn there? Did you not listen to the direction you were supposed to go in? Or
Yep.
did you allow that other person to tell you what you wanted to hear instead of what was
Yes.
best for your own self, and things like
Yes.
that? Where now I think that I finally got the message that before the bad things happen, I need to go to God and say, am I on the right track? Am I going in the right
Absolutely.
direction? Because if I'm not, I can readjust and I can make changes instead of me just going along and letting those bad decisions and bad choices make me have an issue. And then God has to help me pick up the pieces and move on.
Hmm.
Whereas if I had
Hmm.
asked directions, maybe I wouldn't even had that situation happen. And
Yeah. It's weird how just opening ourselves up to the possibility of God leading versus like just not rather than us leading, it's just saying, okay, God, what is it you want me to do? I don't know what I want me to do. So I'm not wanting to lead. I just don't know, you know?
and my thing is too that sometimes we don't ask God what it is that we need.
Yeah.
We know there's
Yeah.
something's not right. There's something
Hmm.
is going on with you, but you don't really know
Hmm.
what it is. And instead of going to God and saying, okay, I'm confused, you know, or
Hmm.
I don't see this situation clearly enough to make a good choice here. Help me figure out what it is, and I've always felt like I had really good intuition and that I would
Mm.
be able to hear that little voice in my head saying, don't do that. You need to
We
do
have
this.
to, you have to
That,
start being quiet though for that.
oh my
I
gosh,
have a hard
yes.
time with that.
And now it's like I was planning a trip
Hmm.
and I was thinking about the trip and thinking, what if I get there and my car breaks down? And
Oh.
not only do I not have the money to fix the car, but then I wouldn't have the money to get home either. So
Hmm.
then I was like, well, God, I have to know, I got to figure this out because I don't want to go not knowing, what I would do, what could happen or whatever.
It's
And
the woulda,
so,
shoulda, couldas.
yes. And so
Oh,
God was
stuck.
like, well, first of all, your first problem is that you're planning to go that far away from home by yourself. That's the first problem.
Oh, okay.
So I thought about it and I thought, well, you're right, because if something happens, I'm going to be by myself too. So I
Right.
decided, okay, I'm going to ask my daughter, do you want to go
Okay.
on this trip with me? She has a much, much newer, better vehicle. And I said, how about this? Would you drive us on the trip? And then that way we don't have to worry about breaking down. Sure. Sounds good. When she realized that I was planning on going by myself in my car, she was like, Mama. And I said, I know, I know.
Yeah.
I said, but that's
Yeah.
that's me. I thought I could handle that and do that myself. I said, but it wasn't until I really sat with it and asked God, okay, I'm feeling uneasy because what if,
Mhm.
you know, what do I really, want to do about it? And my daughter was like, I wouldn't have let you go by yourself in your car. And I said, I know, but I had to decide that I wasn't going to go by myself in my
Right.
car in order for me
Right.
to ask you, would you go with me and would you drive in order for me to be able to accept that decision? If I had said I'm going by myself and I'm going to drive my car and you said no you're not, I would have been resentful towards you because you're not letting me be independent. You're not letting me do what I want to do. Instead of me seeing it that you love me and you care about me and you're trying to make sure I'm safe.
Mm. Mhm.
So now I'm like, you know what? when I get that uneasy feeling or that I'm questioning, well, what if,
Yep.
right then is when I stop and I go to God with it and I say, okay, I don't know why I'm feeling this way.
Yep.
I don't know. I don't know if this is a good thing, a bad thing, if you want me to do it or you don't want me to do it, or, what it is. But I'm going to stop and I'm going to look into it before I go any further, instead of the old way where I just plow ahead and do what I think is best and then find out that I've made a big mess of things.
I've been trying to think about what that phrase is, that rebellious spirit phrase, and I finally remembered what it is. It's called pathological demand avoidance. And it's actually a brain thing that some people have. I happen to have it in spades. And it's, no, I'm Arlie. No. Do not always go with your instincts. My instincts suck. They're terrible. Yes, absolutely.
Well, yeah, if your instincts are good, then yes,
Yes.
go with your instincts. But if your instincts over the years have proven to be, don't.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Autistic PDA. Okay, that's what Mandy is talking about. So yeah, that I have found that is, I wonder if that's because autism and ADHD have some meshing going on.
Yes.
I'm wondering if that is one of those little things that will be one of those meshings. So yeah. Warrior's Spear. Hi, how is everyone? Hi, Warrior's Spear. Nice to meet you. I'm Kim of My Other's Keeper. So, somebody Arlie, I think, had asked. Yes, my channel is My Other's Keeper. And my other channel, there's My Other's Keeper, and then there's my other channel, is Pookie Woo's Designs. Oh, hi, Retro. Nice to meet you. So yeah, there's so many things we need to just slow down and just, slow down. So, oh well.
Well, and like I said, it took something to make me stop and to take time, because I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have stopped. I would have done that workout. I would have went and got my granddaughter. I would have came back. I would have got that video uploaded, and I would have kept on trucking. I had no plan of taking time off.
Yeah.
But that's what I needed to do. And it was so hard for me because I had a guest scheduled that Saturday night. It was hard for me to cancel my live that Wednesday and to cancel trivia, but it was harder for me to contact the person I had lined up as my guest and say, I'm really sorry, but I don't think I can do this, And I could have probably, if I had laid back in my recliner, I could have probably still done it from the recliner, but I was like, I don't want to be laying here. Like, I know. Like, if I can't at least sit on the recliner to be able to talk, I'm not going to do it,
The reason I don't mind you seeing me from here to here is I look like a normal human being. If you were to look at me sitting, I don't get photographs taken of me in a seated position because I look like Jabba the Hutt. It's a matter of vanity, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I just didn't want, to do that. But anyway, the person was very gracious and was like, well, by all means, we'll reschedule. And we did reschedule, so they will still be my guest. But it hurt my feelings because I'm the kind of person that if I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
And here I was admitting that I can't. I can't. But I can't. I just can't do it.
Yes.
And then I think I didn't want to make plans to to go and do things and not have live streams on certain times and certain days because I felt obligated.
Yes.
Like I had, and my daughter said to me when I was, telling her about how I feel like it's changed and all, and she said, well, who told you that you had to do all those things?
Yeah.
And I'm like, me, I guess,
Yeah.
And she was like, if you're not enjoying what you're doing, don't do it. And it really wasn't that I wasn't enjoying it. I didn't want it to become so important that I couldn't enjoy other things and that I didn't take time to do the other things. And
yeah.
And now it's kind of like, oh no, I'm not going to be able to do it that time because I have a plan to go do whatever, which is how life is supposed to be. You're supposed to spend time with your friends and your family.
Yeah.
And do whatever it is you do to make money, but it's not making that money is not supposed to be your main focus in life, and I think too, a lot of it has to do with the way I was raised. I have a very strong work ethic. I put a lot of pressure on myself from, the way I was raised, that if you're going to do something, you need to do it 100% as well as you can, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And
don't do it any half measures.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And it's hard when you have to stop and admit to yourself, hey, you're not up to doing it right now,
Yeah.
So it was the best time, even though I was hurting and I was, kept telling everybody, oh, I'm going to be fine. I'm not going to the doctor. I'm not going to get this, I'm not going to admit that it's bad or whatever. But because God said everything's going to be fine, everything is fine now. I mean, my foot is still a little wonky and a little.
Even Paul had a thorn in the flesh
here and there,
Yeah.
But the nerve in my back is good. I don't have to have any tests done or anything like that. But I know now why all the times that I fell before, I didn't get hurt like that because I had lots of padding. When I fell, it was like it was padded. Now there's no padding. So now I have to be more careful that I don't do that. And
just don't break a hip. Please don't break a hip.
I hadn't fallen in over a year. I hurt my Achilles tendon back in March of 2024. Got out of my walking boot like 2 days before my weight loss surgery.
Right.
And since I've lost the weight and I've gotten my sugars under control, my neuropathy in my feet is so much better. My balance has been better. I haven't had the problems with falling like I was having. And that's another thing my daughter said. Maybe God thought you were getting a little too cocky, that you felt like you could do whatever you wanted to do.
Exactly. See, that's me. Yeah. I don't like to slow down until I crash, and then I have to slow down. And that's part of my illness. For your audience, for your friends in your chat, I have bipolar type 2. And I talk very openly about mental health. I talk very openly about spirituality. I talk very openly about many things that other people tend to keep quiet about. And when I come live Tuesdays and Thursdays every week, that does not sound onerous, but I have recently opened a shop for my art. And that is Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So now Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday nights, I've got something going on, which means when my husband is home and not at work, I am. So I'm not seeing him as much. Mm-hmm. And I know that's not something God wants either.
Yeah.
So I need to prioritize before it all falls apart, right? The devotionals every day, I think I'm going to have to cut those down to only a few days a week. You know, things like that are just, I have to be careful.
Well, and the thing about it is that who says you have to do it
Yeah,
5 days a week?
right.
You know, and I think God would much rather we use our whole life to be a
Mhm.
testimony to him than just
Mhm.
bits and pieces of it that we want to
Absolutely.
show the public. And you have to be able to juggle, but balance is what's important. I've
Yeah.
always been, as long as I keep all the balls in the air, nobody's
Yes.
going to know that I really don't know what the heck I'm doing here, because I keep them going. No,
Yes.
it's about balance.
It is.
Am
It
I a
really
good
is.
mother? Yes. Am I
Mm.
a good grandmother? Yes. Am I a good
Mhm.
friend? Yes. Am I a good Christian? I need to be better there. But it's like balance is more
Yeah.
important. And
Yeah.
also, I've been doing a little investigating about this whole YouTube thing.
Oh.
Now, I've been told,
Mhm.
and I didn't like the advice I was given,
Okay.
that it's not when you're on YouTube, and especially if you want to become monetized and you want to make
Mhm.
money from it,
Mhm.
you are not supposed to be making videos and covering topics of things that you like or that you want to do. You're supposed to do what other people are going to want to see and look into, because then they'll click on your video or come on your live or whatever. Well,
Yeah.
my reaction to that has always been, if I'm not enjoying what I'm doing, and if the topic doesn't relate to me in some way or something, then why would I want to even make a
That's
video?
right.
I was
Yeah.
like, okay, all right. So now I've been doing some research, and I've
Yes.
been looking at some other channels, and I've been
Ah.
kind of reevaluating some of the information.
Mhm.
And it's not really as bad as that sounded. That sounded
Mhm.
like they're saying, stop doing anything that you like and now start doing
Mm.
things that, the general population like. It's
Right.
not so much that as it is presenting your video, your title, your thumbnail,
Mhm.
and your
Mhm.
video
Mhm.
in a way that when somebody sees it, they will say, "Oh, that sounds interesting to me." Or, "Oh, here's somebody in my age range dealing with this
Mhm.
problem."
Mhm.
That kind of thing. So it's not so much that you have to change the kind of things you want to do. It's
You
kind of
have
like
to
how you
engage.
package, how you
Right.
package it
Right.
up and put it out there on YouTube for people to find.
Mhm.
And so I heard about this um, app
Mhm.
that I actually heard about two different apps. One that it actually takes you do your live stream, okay?
Mhm.
You download it into this app. This
Mhm.
app will make 5 short videos out of what you had on your live stream.
I think StreamYard will do that.
But well, and now StreamYard used to do something similar, but I don't think it did as far.
Oh,
This actually will take, like, pick out the 5 best points that you made,
really?
give you a title or suggest some titles that you could use for this
Mhm.
or whatever,
Mhm.
so that you can make short videos. And actually, that's why YouTube finally separated shorts and long videos as far as for monetization. How now your long videos count towards watch hours, your short videos, it's the views that count towards monetization. A lot of people are making 2 separate channels now where they have one strictly for shorts and go that route for monetization, and the other, their long form and their live streams on another channel going that watch hour route for monetization.
Oh, okay.
When it used to be a short video was supposed to be like a trailer to your long video or to your live
Yes.
stream. It was supposed to
Yes.
be just a quick, short, little peek into what, and to stir up some interest.
Yes.
People would say, oh, they're going to talk about this. I'm going to try to go to that live stream. We have gotten so far away from that now that
See, and that's how I started out doing my shorts.
Shorts basically now are a form of entertainment. It's
Yes.
just a song, a dance, you know,
Yep.
doing this, doing that, whatever.
It's TikTok.
Yeah. But there are a lot of people, and I happen to know somebody who just started a shorts channel, and I shared it on my community wall today, but she is doing prayers, scriptures, inspiration, things like that, which her main channel also has a lot of those kind of videos and live streams with it.
Right.
But the shorts channel will strictly be short videos. And I was like, I understand it now. I would make random shorts that had absolutely nothing to do with my channel. But on the other hand, if my channel is basically about my life, then things that happen in my life can be, you know, I can make shorts out of those things, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of like my whole idea about what YouTube is supposed to be used for and how to go about it is changing.
Yeah.
I still don't believe in clickbait. I don't believe in using a title that has nothing to do with my video just to get somebody to click on it or look at it, that kind of thing.
I hope you don't mind that I named mine Echo, Echo, Echo today. I mean, how many times have you heard that joke? Really? So.
But there's a lot of things that, True Wave Energy. Hello, Victor. Welcome.
Hello.
He does meditation.
Oh.
I am trying to get into the habit of trying to not only have my quiet time with God, but also to have some time to meditate. That's what when you were saying about take a deep breath.
Yeah.
I realized that I very rarely ever deliberately take a deep breath.
Yeah.
It's like I noticed when I'm reading out loud, I'm not putting a place to breathe, and I'm like, and I said, singers have to learn where to breathe and how to breathe, you know. And I really think that is just saying a lot about how I've lived my life. That it's always been quick. It's not been slow, quick, slow, quick. So it's like.
So you want a foxtrot is what you're saying.
Yeah. Or even a walk.
Slow, quick, slow.
But,
quick.
you know, not just.
Yeah.
And there are so many things that it's almost like my gardening, for instance. My dad was a gardener.
Okay.
We've always had gardens. My brother loves to garden. So, you know, I'm doing container gardening on my patio.
Nice.
And I have house plants, you know, but I'm trying to grow some vegetables out on my garden, on my patio rather. And this weekend, was it Monday? It might have been Monday. Anyway, one day I spent the whole day transplanting my tomato plants and my pepper plants.
Oh, okay.
And I had wanted to get some 5-gallon buckets to put my tomato plants in.
Mhm.
And I'd already bought the tomato cages to go over top of
Mhm.
them. So I was in Goodwill, one of my favorite
Mhm.
places to shop, and I'm walking around in there, and what do I see but 4 5-gallon buckets? I was like,
Perfect.
thank you, God. You knew I needed those. Let me go ahead and get
Absolutely.
these. So I got the buckets, and then I had spent the day out with my daughter and granddaughter, and we'd been out shopping, and I had made
Mhm.
sure that I had got some potting soil because I
Mhm.
knew I was going to have to be repotting them soon.
Right.
So I decided the other day I'm going to do that. So I was also told you plant like marigolds or certain
Right.
herbs in with the
Yep.
tomato plants to help with the
Yep.
pest. So I had
Not potatoes.
not
Keep
potatoes.
your potatoes and your tomatoes very
Separate.
separate.
So I had already picked up when I got the potting soil. I also got some more plants, some other little plants because I had bought those vertical planters that stack on top of each other.
Oh,
It
yeah.
has
I've people
like
do
three
strawberries in
pots.
those.
Yeah, it has like
Yeah.
3 pots and then you stack them.
Yep.
And so I had a couple plants I wanted
Those
to
are
put
really
in those,
cool.
but I needed
Yeah.
some more. So when I got my marigolds for my tomatoes, I got those other plants. So anyway, I had this whole
Nice.
big day planned of planting that, planting the flowers, doing my tomatoes, doing my peppers. So I
Yep.
got everything set up and I'm just going at it and everything. And all of a sudden, I realized that I'm not going to have enough dirt. I, even
Oh,
though I had bought 2 huge bags
no.
and I
Oh,
had the dirt
no.
that was already in the pots with the plants to begin with, I was going to, keep that and
Yeah.
add to it.
Oh, for sure.
I'm not going to have enough to finish. So now I'm like, okay, so this is what you do. You get to a stopping point, you go get in the shower, you get cleaned up, you
Yes.
go to the store, you get more potting soil, and then you come back home and then you do the rest. Now, before I would have been very upset
Mm.
that not only did I not plan to have enough, but that I had to stop and take a shower and now it's taken my whole day,
Yes.
Do
Yes.
you know that when I was finished and I actually got everything out on the patio, I sat there on my patio and I had the most peaceful evening, just appreciating myself at how good I was at doing all that work for my little plants. And I've grown all these plants from seeds. So I
Oh,
took them from
wow.
seeds to little bitty starts to a little bit bigger to little bigger. Then I potted them. Now they're finally getting little blooms. We're going to have some tomatoes and some green peppers. And it's just been absolutely wonderful.
Oh, that's
But
fantastic.
before it was a like I have to get these, it's like that is something you've
Yep.
started this project, now you've got to get them to the next stage, you know.
Yep.
And it was like a pressure, like you have to do it.
Yes.
But
Yes.
now it's like I was able to do it. I allowed myself time to
Yes.
do
It's not
that.
I have to, it's I can,
And yes.
and that's a whole nother
And that's what
thing.
I'm looking for now. In anything
Yes.
that I do, I want to feel like I was given a gift, that I was able and allowed to do that thing
Mhm.
instead of I have this pressure on me that I have to, whatever, whatever,
Mhm.
whatever. So
Yeah.
yesterday I called my daughter and I said, "You guys want to go swimming this afternoon?" And
Oh,
because they live where there's pools. And
nice.
she said, "Oh, you don't have a life?" I said, "No, I don't. I had one at noon. I don't have one tonight." And she was like, "Are you lonely?" I said, "No, I'm not lonely." She said,
Aw,
"Well, are you bored?" I said, "No, I'm not bored."
I
She
just
said,
wanna be with you.
"Oh, you just want to come over and go swimming and spend some time with us?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's really what I want to do. But if you don't want to, I don't have to." She was like, "I'm glad that you want to."
Yeah.
Yeah. She
Yeah.
said, I haven't asked you, because I don't want to put pressure on you and make you feel like that's something else you've got to juggle into your life, because we want to have you over and we want to spend time with you, you know. And I was like,
But we want you to want it.
want to do it. Exactly. So
Yes,
I went
yes.
yesterday. As I walked out the door, it started raining, sprinkling, which she had called me back about 5 minutes before I left and said, "Oh, I just looked at the forecast. It's supposed to rain at 6 o'clock." This was about a quarter to 5. And I said, "Oh, well, we could still go in the rain. I don't care. You know,
Well, yeah,
we're
you're going to be
wet
wet
and
already.
cool." Yeah. I said, "Okay, it's all right. I'm still coming." By the time I got to her house, it was a torrential downpour. I mean, it was just dark black and pouring.
Oh, no.
So I called her and I said, I'm fixing to come in, but I don't think we should go swimming because there might be thunder and lightning out here. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's really stormy. It's not just raining. It's stormy.
Right. It's a rain.
Yeah. So she said, "Well, that's fine, you know." So I come in and my granddaughter's got her bathing suit on. She's got her swim shoes on. She's got her floaty. And I'm like, "I'm sorry, baby, but you know, it's raining. We can't go in the rain." And she just, it was like I killed her. She just was like, and she said, "And you're going to leave?" And I said, "No, Granny's not going to leave. We'll do something else, but Granny's going to spend some time with you." We had to play everything that she had just about to play. So then she didn't want to go to bed when it was bedtime.
Oh, for sure.
Because
Yeah.
I was still there. My daughter and I had decided we were going to watch a movie. And so she wanted to stay up. And my daughter was like, "Nope, it's time for you to go to bed." So she goes to bed and we sat there and we watched a scary movie.
Ooh.
It was scary movie.
What was the movie?
Um,
Legally Blonde?
no.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, it's on Netflix.
Okay.
Can't believe I can't remember the name of it.
What's it about?
Well, it's about this girl is going to Detroit for a job interview. She books an Airbnb. She goes to the Airbnb and the key is not in the lockbox where it's supposed to be. She gets there late at night and it's raining, of course.
Of course.
And she doesn't see the neighborhood. She just, sees the house. The key's not in the lockbox. She tries to call the rental agency and she gets an answering machine type thing. Then she gets back in her car and she's going to go try to find someplace else to stay. And the light goes on in the house. And so she decides somebody's in there. I'm supposed to be renting this place. Who is in there? So she goes and knocks on the door. Well, this guy answers the door and he's like, "Well, I've rented it for tonight." And she's like, "Well, here's my confirmation number, and everything. I'm supposed to be renting it." And so anyway, it makes you believe that he's the bad guy. And like, she's just going to stay there because she doesn't have any other place to stay and all this, but that's not what it is. Then you find out what it's all about. And it's this whole big long story about the person who owns that house, what happens in his life, and he ends up going to the house and finds out that there's people that have been living in the house since he bought the house.
Oh, no.
For like 40 years, and they have tunnels and caves and stuff down underneath the house, and they've been living there. So it's like,
that sounds familiar.
The person goes down in, like, you see the basement, and the stairs, and they go down into the basement, and then you see where it goes further back, and then they keep going, and then it like goes down. And they keep going. It's like, why are you going in there?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, danger,
Like, dude,
don't go there. You know,
I know.
it was one of those, you're on the edge of your seat because you just don't know what's going to happen next. And then
Oh,
you think you see something in the shadow, and then something happens, and you're like, oh my gosh, I
yes.
looked away. What was that? You know?
Yes.
Oh, so
Oh,
when
who
it
was
was
in it?
like,
Anybody we would know?
not that I didn't recognize
Okay.
anybody. I'll have to look up what the name of it was.
Oh man.
But anyhow, I usually don't watch. I like mysteries and suspense, but I usually don't like gory kind of stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
So anyway, here it is. Now it's midnight. It's dark out, and my daughter's
Hmm.
like, "Are you going to go home?" And I'm like,
No,
"Well,
no, I'm not.
yeah, I'm going to go home." You know, and she was like, "I thought maybe you'd want to stay on the couch after that scary movie," and I was like, I think I'd have more problems if I stayed here because I'd be thinking about the movie. If I go home, you know, I won't be
Oh,
thinking
okay.
about that or whatever. So I did come home. But we had
Oh
the best
man.
time, even though our plans totally didn't go, you know. But that, and I could feel such a difference in how I felt being there, spending time with them. I did not feel
Mhm.
hurried or like
Right.
looking at my watch, like, okay, I've got to get home. I've got stuff I need to take care of. You know,
Hmm.
I was just like, and when she said, "You want to watch a movie?" I was like, "Yeah." I wasn't even thinking, well, how long does a movie take and what time will that be? It didn't matter. I
No,
wanted to watch. And then
that's
when
right.
we were watching, it was like, how could you stop? You have to see what happened.
I know. Yeah. My husband goes, "Oh, we can just stop it." And I'm like, "No, we
No,
can't.
no,
I don't,
no.
I don't stop movies.
No, you can't.
That's
You
not
have
the way
to,
things are meant to go."
finish it out, you know, and see. But it if I
Yes.
had read the description of it, I probably wouldn't, especially if I was home by myself, I would not have
Hmm.
watched it, you know, because it was pretty gross, you know. But
Okay.
it was just one of those movies that you were like, I can't believe somebody acted in this. I mean, can you imagine getting the script? We want you to be the crazy monster down in the basement that comes out and attacks people, you know?
Yes. Somebody agreed to play that part.
Yes, yeah, and they played it
And
good,
somebody agreed
good.
to play the part of the person who got attacked.
Yes, yes.
That's even weirder.
Like, yeah, okay, I really want to be an actress, but I don't know if I want to be in that kind of movie, you know?
Yeah.
But it was definitely good the time we had. I
Yeah.
probably could have watched a funny movie and I would have been happier about that,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
but no. But I'm, you know, my daughter doesn't say things to me. She doesn't say, um, like she might see how I'm handling something or how I'm doing something, but she doesn't say, "Oh, you seem stressed," or "You seem
Mm.
like," you know. And now it's like she kind of feels like, "Oh, okay, I can tell you the truth now. If I'm worried about you or I think, you know, I'll just say
Hmm.
it." And then, and I told her, I said, "You know, it's not even so much about you being able to say it, it's about me being able to hear you
Hmm.
have that concern and me not automatically being on the defense, like, but I'm a
Yeah.
grown woman and I'm independent and I can do what I want to do, you know."
Yes. Speaking of grown and independent and all that stuff, I may be grown, I may be independent, but I'm also married. And my husband has just come home from work.
Oh, and he wants to eat dinner, I bet.
Probably. Yeah.
So how
And the man can cook for himself, but
so
having company is nice.
he's not liking you being at your shop on the days that you have your
Well, the
shop
days
open?
that I'm working at my shop, he's usually working from home. So I can kind of peek in and say hi, and we will talk and that kind of stuff. Um, but give Mr. Kim hugs. I will definitely give Mr. Kim some hugs. Um, yes. Other people call him Mr. Keeper, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but I should go and give Mr. Keeper some hugs. Echo, thank you so much, my friend.
Oh, you are
And
so
we
welcome. I
will,
enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You are absolutely right about putting your priorities in order, and don't let your priorities run you. You need
Yeah.
to run them. So thank you for that reminder. That is excellent. I really appreciated that.
Yeah. And,
All right.
everybody has been very positive about the name change and the different
Oh,
things that I'm
yeah.
doing. Everybody is like, good for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I think in my one video I said, and if I lose subscribers and lose watch hours, oh well,
Yep,
because
that's
it's
right.
going to be to make me happy. It's not going to be to make anybody else happy. So,
That's right. Yep.
and I mean, I would have been still a watcher on YouTube, even if I had quit doing my channel. I have
Yes.
so many friends that have channels that I still would have been supporting people and watching,
Yep, exactly.
But I'm glad that I made the decision to just change it up,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Who knows?
that's right.
It's
All
it's
right.
yet to be told what life will hold. So
Ah, I love that.
we will
All right.
see what we see. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much for coming. I love
Thank
you
you very
all.
much. Love you all. I appreciate you all coming, and I will talk to you again.
Okay.
I will see you
Sounds good.
tomorrow for a devotional. Tomorrow is Friday, is that right? That's
Yes.
the day we do our prayer meeting. Is on Fridays.
Okay.
So yes, I will see you all
Thanks.
then.
10 p.m. tomorrow night. Retro will be here singing.
Yay!
We're going to have some fun. He and I definitely laugh and joke. So we're going to have some fun.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Alrighty, I'll talk to you later, y'all.
All right. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Some come with scars, some come with dreams. In this circle, we're more than what we seem. No judgment here, just voices to be heard. Through laughter, through the tears, we find